Pepper is beautiful. That is his flavor. So you need to find that flavor. Nobody shouts at pepper and say you don't do over.
Not pepper body, no.
Oh my God.
Hello, welcome to the maiden episode of the GVMC Podcast. I am your host, M, and today's topic is one that speaks to us as young people. And with me today are four amazing people, beautifully dressed, looking sharp. I'm afraid to smell small now. Smell small. That's more like it. So yes, not only do they have amazing voices and love music, they also thrive in their different careers. So I'm going to give you the floor now. Introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
So my name is Bruce Lee. What I do, right?
Yes, please.
Try my best. I'm an investment manager and advisor. And I trained as a lawyer. That's all.
That's all? Maybe have more, say more.
No, don't worry. There's a lot of time.
You don't like to show yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Agionin Ode. I am a legal practitioner, and I think that's basically all about me. Every other thing is just fun.
Yeah, my name is Passport Sammy Boy. You may also know me as Pacified. I am a musician. I'm a music producer. I am a music entrepreneur. I'm an artist, music consultant. Basically anything music. Like my brother, I'm also trained as a lawyer. So. Run to Toronto.
All right, my name is Favor Adjuebo. Yes, I'm a trained lawyer.
Yes.
And a legal practitioner.
Come on now.
I think that's all basically.
One more person to defend me.
I
I said I could have asked a better set of people. Okay, so like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about how to become a person of influence. And like we all said, you're all legal practitioners. And even if you all practicing, like
practicing in different levels. But I practicing something.
So when somebody says he or she is a legal practitioner, it means the person is practicing law at the time.
and time.
Yes. So if I just tell you
So
I'm
I'm
a trained lawyer,
lawyer.
then it means I have that certificate. I can be called a lawyer, but not practicing as a lawyer.
That's it.
She's sound.
Yes.
Come on now. Congratulations. Congratulations. You're doing well.
You did it.
You spoke on you are our advocate. You are our advocate.
I mean,
You spoke my mind.
From what we can see here, from all you said, I think each of you has been able to like have, should I say, have a space for yourself in your different things that you do, like practicing law and stuff. So now, let me start from the roots here. How would you define influence? What is influence to you? I'm going to start with you.
Oh, you want to start from me?
Okay.
Wow. Influence. I think influence is impact. I think that's it. Yes. Impact. How much you can affect someone, both positively or negatively. So, influence simply means touching lives in one way or the other.
Okay, so, well, two words come to my mind: effect and affect. You know, it's when you hear the word influence, well, it's not always positive. When you hear the word influencer, it means something very negative. You run from it, you close your nose from it, people are, and all of that. And so it's not always positive. So influence for me is the capacity to affect or affect something or somebody. Yeah. That's what it means to me.
Okay, I like the fact that he used the word capacity, and then effect. And that is because it is a strong word. And not everybody has the capacity to effect or affect somebody. So I think it is the capacity to affect someone's behavior or character, positively or negatively. Yes.
But if you still look at it, can we really say if you control someone, you are influencing the person?
Yes.
So
Yes.
influence is control too, right?
Yes.
The ability or the capacity, like you said, to change the narrative, to change the character, to change a decision, to actually cause a change is influence.
So the bottom line right now is it could either be bad or good. Okay,
The good and the bad.
yeah. I said earlier that each one of you has actually been able to like have a space where people look up to you in one way or the other, to be in music, in business, or in law, as you said. When did it first hit you that the choices you make and things you do actually affect people or make people want to be like you or look up to you?
Well, I don't think it ever hits you.
And then
I don't think it ever does. Like the way I see life, it's not life is not like what you have in the movies, for example, or you're reading a book and you just get to a certain chapter and you realize this is the part where this person begins to do this. In real life, at least for myself, it's just been just keep going with life. I've just kept going, kept the ball rolling, and sometimes, just as I said, it didn't quite hit me per se, right? Like it's not like one day I woke up and I realized, oh, I'm beginning to influence people now. It's do you get my point? It's rather like you just keep doing what you're doing, and depending on where you thought you would be, depending on what your yardsticks for success have been over the years, you never quite realize that you're living your dreams sometimes. Sometimes you just keep doing what you're doing and you don't even realize that the things you were looking for some years back are beginning to, happen now, become your reality.
It's about the things you do and certain choices you make, and people just look at you and be like, "Oh, I want to be like this person."
Yeah.
So it's never happened like where you just sit back and like, "Oh wait, like this person is actually like these choices I've made, these things I've done, have actually influenced these people, making them look up to me or want to be like me."
At some point, yes. Like for myself, by the time a couple of things began to happen, like some things just piled up. I only said that it did not quite, like I can't remember a day it quite just hit me. Like I can't tell you on this specific day it hit me, right? That I've now become a source of inspiration or an influencer, right? You get, but it's such in today's world, it's such a powerful position to be in, because you wouldn't even realize sometimes that you influence some kids' decisions more than their actual parents or guardians do. In today's world, I think that's some of the things that are very wrong with the world today, because almost anybody can just pick up a phone or any electronic device, go on the internet, and see something that can influence them or affect their lives without like sieving or checking to see, is this the kind of information I should let, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So going back to the question, for me personally, I don't know about my friends here, but there was never a day it quite hit me. But then at some point, after I had done a couple of things in my life, and then it just became like, oh, okay, I think it came to me like in form of gratitude to start with. Yeah, in form of like, oh gosh, I'm here now, thank God. And then you're like, wait, once upon a time I was wishing I was here. Oh wow, that's so I guess in that sort of way, but not like it has hit me now. I'm now influential.
For him, I would say it happened that way because he was just living his passion. He was living his dream. He was doing what he loved do or what he loves to do. So it never occurred to him that he was impacting lives and he was being influential. Do you understand? But when you're intentional about doing a particular thing, okay, being intentional doesn't mean you're not passionate. Do you understand? But being intentional is deciding to do this thing and doing it perfectly well. I'm not just doing it because I love it, I'm doing it because I want to do it. This is what I have always wanted to do. Do you understand? So when you're intentional about doing a particular thing, it hits you at some point. When somebody walks up to you and says, "Oh, you made me do this. Because of you, I decided to do this. Because of you, I decided to do so.
Has that ever happened to you?
It has. It has. It has happened a lot of times, so many times in church, in town where I am, and then from my home church, because my home church adopted me as their daughter, so to say, their barrister daughter. Do you understand? As being the first female lawyer from my home church.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so when that happened, I got the message and I was like, oh my God. I didn't even know.
How did it make you feel?
That is what I'm trying to explain. I can't even explain how I felt, but my head was literally
Oh my
bursting.
God. What's going on with me?
And the message came from my father.
Oh.
He called. So I was happy that my father was the one passing that message to me, because I was imagining how proud he was of me. Do you understand? And then being adopted by the whole church, it was a big deal. Aside that, in my own church in town where I reside, I've had a lot of people come to me and say, "Ma, please, I want to study law. I was happy when I heard you were a lawyer, but it's surprising to know that you're also in the choir. How do you manage it? And again, I also heard you're in the fashion industry. How do you do it? I'd like to be like you someday. So ma, please, would you mind to mentor me?" Do you understand? Yes, so it has happened a lot of times and it has made me proud, because I was being intentional. I wanted to be a lawyer, Now I am being a lawyer, pursuing my hobby. Like I said, every other thing is fun.
Yeah.
So now doing those things that I love to do, I did not know it was going to be touching lives.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to make people want to be like me, want to double tax, want to be an entrepreneur. Do you understand? At the same time. So it has made me proud of myself. It has made me happy that I took certain decisions and I was intentional about those decisions. And it's making, should I say waves? No, not waves. But it's making people want to be like me. I want to follow in my steps.
Wow. So let me say something.
Please.
I want us to get this. Please. Everything is regular. There's nothing new under the sun. So if you are a fashionist, you are a lawyer, you are an entrepreneur in whichever area, everybody does almost the same thing. But where you become a person of influence is the uniqueness of how you do it.
That makes sense.
That's where the difference is. Everything is regular. So nobody is doing one particular thing solely in the whole universe. Nobody. So there are different players in that industry. But the difference is how unique you go about it. And the focus should not be how to become popular, or how to make money, or how to be known, or how to start imparting. The focus is how to be unique, how to do your regular first, and how to be unique about it. Then when you eventually become unique, people will begin to subscribe to whatever you're doing. So when you begin to have large number of subscribers to whatever you do, that is when you become a person of influence. So at that point in time, it will dawn on you, like you said, people react differently. The only point where I realized that, okay, I think I'm beginning to have followers, not necessarily on social media, was when it didn't dawn on me. The one that dawned on me was when I realized that I've escaped hunger. That was the only thing that dawned on me. Yes.
There was a time you were hungry.
I'm a hunger wire me. 2016.
Oh wow.
Yes, hunger wire me. So that's the part that dawned on me. But if you like say you don't escape this thing, But that of influence, I just realized that, okay, for one reason or the other, if I post something, fullness, one or two friends we share, and so on and so forth.
In my head, this influencing thing, it's not so specific. It's very wide, because I look at it from the first person. I look at it from the first person you are able to influence, right? We live in a world where we believe every popular person is an influencer, or every popular person influences something. Right? But what do you influence when you are out of this place? Nobody remembers anything about it. What have you been able to influence? What have you been able to impact? Now, it's not about the crowd. It's about one or two individuals. Sometimes it hit me even in the university. Right. And then we just wanted to go to school, get this whole thing done. And every other thing we're doing seemed like fun.
Yeah.
Right? It seemed like we're doing every other thing to survive. We were singing, fellowship gave the platform. People were, I don't know if you get the point. But at certain points where somebody decides they want to dress like me, and they come to me at certain point and say, well, how do you do this? That was already my friend. And that was when I realized, okay, every step I take, the people that are looking at me, that even made me try correcting my life, again and again. Even in my adult life, it's not about what I'm doing, aside being basically an activist, So people are watching, okay, what is he going to say next and all that. But there is nobody I enjoy influencing more than myself. Nobody else. I really don't care about the world, because if I influence that guy wrongly, I might destroy his world. You get? So there are lots of popular people. What are they influencing? Maya Khalifa is a very popular porn actor or actress.
I don't
know. Why porn?
Yes. Now I'm going to the.
That's a negative.
I'm going to the extreme.
I think that's why he's saying that.
I'm going to the extreme. If you want to become a person of influence, what do you want to influence? Because anybody can become consistent in stealing, and others will want to. I won't steal. How can I steal like?
No, you make stealing look colorful.
Yes. How can I steal like? Almost everybody. There was a time where internet fraud was not this big. Some persons who became popular influenced the lot. That went into it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And
that is where we begin to talk about social media, because it gave us.
At first when I got the topic, I was even thinking social media. I said, yeah, I do. I'm not even a social media person like that. I can't remember the last time I posted a picture or even did a status or whatever. I'm a very shy person online. But my immediate life, like, okay, I'm very popular in church. But out of nowhere, pastor realized this guy has tattoos all over his body. And when God exposed 7 different guys who I knew were big boys, I like, where did you get your tattoos? And that was when it hit me again. So at every point of my life, it's hitting me. At every point of my life, it's hitting me. And most times, I like the fact you asked that question. Every time it hit me, because sometimes you get carried away. So when it hits me, I go and I reflect. I need to cover these things. I don't need to be so proud about them. It's not like they are bad. I have my own revelation. I have the reason I did what I did. But I'm not going to be able to sit them down and ask them or tell them. There are people who would want to do these things without coming to meet me or ask any question. They're just going to get the wrong interpretations of it. But whenever it hits me, that's like the wake-up call. Go and reflect. Hope you're not going to damage another life.
Well, I have a question for you.
Shit.
At what?
Did you say
So, actually, shirt is the past tense of shoot.
Wow.
So don't follow that. So
exactly what we're talking
Influence without conscience.
My God.
So, at what point does it hit you again that you might be doing too much because people are influenced by your actions?
Bro, you can never you can never do too much.
Exactly, that's how
You
much.
can never do too much. See, for everybody who's going to be watching this, let me tell you, swear up, and everybody here, we've had those times where you come into the room and somebody says the way to be. I've had people who I didn't know in school meet me in the streets of Abuja, meet me at the airport or whatever, and they're like, I didn't know you were this cool. You're like busybody, you're the top everywhere. Wow. I said, but you knew me, I didn't know you. Right? So you cannot overdo. The Bible said the earnest expectations of the righteous are waiting for the manifestations of the sons of God. If you not overdo, nothing they manifests. You have to have your flavor. Right? And if you are cooking, every flavor is fighting for prominence. In a pot of soup, every flavor is fighting for prominence.
Now I understand. We don't reach soup.
Every flavor is fighting. I tell you. Yeah, every flavor is fighting for prominence. But in a Nigerian soup, if that pepper,
Egusi, for example.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
the pepper, will not, the pepper bites, it shouts, but the pepper is beautiful. That is its flavor. Yes, so you need to find that flavor.
Find
and
that
interesting
pepper.
The interesting thing about pepper is one of my most interesting spice, and I do a lot of talking points with pepper because you put that salt, it might balance, it might blend with everything, but the pepper always stands out.
Yeah.
The pepper always stands out. Nobody shouts at pepper and say you don't be over.
Not pepper body, no.
Not pepper.
Oh my God.
We attach it to different things. Small pepper body.
Right there.
Pepper has this flavor.
Pepper body. Yeah.
Whether you
Pepper
like it
and
or
body.
not, you put a small bite of it, pepper will overdo. You put too much of it, pepper will overdo. And I've seen times when people drop a food and say, man, it's too spicy. But a lot of times, we Nigerians, we do, but we are finishing that. And then in the sweets.
Pride.
Do you understand? So I would say be like pepper.
But let me say something.
Overdo. There is no stopping to it. As far as say you don't reflect, you don't sit down reflect. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it good?
Okay.
Right? As far as you're doing it good, pepper is never doing it bad. You understand? So as far as you're doing it good, increase your flavor. Do as much as you can.
Okay, let me say something, please. I want us to have a way of bringing all these points from an action point.
Yeah.
But take home.
Yeah.
Now, do you evaluate impact? Now, what do I mean? I'm beginning to pick two things now: popularity and leaving an impression. It could be expression and impression. Now, you're popular, that's your expression. Then, leaving an impact. When you begin to see yourself in people, that's impression.
Yeah.
Now, how do you now assess or evaluate your level of impact? Is it because people talk about you, you're known? It could be your nuisance values, your nuisance.
When he resurrected and left us, than when he was alive. Do you understand? The 12 that he started with did a lot of work for him because it so impacted their lives. But when he noticed that, these ones are, and even at the point, even at his resurrection, after his resurrection, before ascension, some persons might say something. He will use it as a teaching moment. Because they were not so impacted even at that time of his life. They were not so impacted. I don't know if you get it. And that was when, at the end of the day, the Holy Spirit is coming now. He will teach you most of these things. Because he didn't teach as much. The time was not enough. But at the end of
us a lot by his actions.
By his actions.
And that's where influence comes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that you can leave that drop of the Holy
See
Spirit.
what I want us to achieve in this podcast. I want us to narrow. If they ask you what makes you feel you are a man of impact, what are your programs? What are your activities? What are your itineraries? what are your schemes that you feel you are embarking on, or you are doing, or you have done, or you will still do to warrant the number of persons who you are influencing?
There is someone I know that's close
Yes.
to me.
Okay.
There's someone I think is one of your clients. I knew him before I started knowing him, not because I specifically took time to search for him. But he was doing something I really love. He started with the prison.
Yes.
And right now he's in the bushes, running after trying to caught kidnappers, kidnapping Delta outside the police and military. And he's doing a lot of work there, right? Like you said, it's not about what you want to do, it's what you are doing and what you have been able to achieve.
And what you may do.
That gives you the scorecard.
Yeah.
If you go into the room of an artist, most artists have award rooms, right? They have their sold out plays. Do you understand? They are celebrating those awards because these are
Milestones.
These are milestones. Do you get? These are serious milestones. So they celebrate these things. I think for now, that is the only way, because sometimes, especially in the social media age, you might think it's by the numbers. People celebrate that a lot. Followers, likes, comments, and all that. People celebrate that. And it really, the major thing now, in the Union Nigeria Palace, you don't have.
That's intangible impact. Tangible.
If you're working with a non-profit and you're applying, you're writing a proposal, most of the things you have to really work with statistics.
Let's not forget we're talking about influence and not impact, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's stop mixing the
No, the interesting fact is that if you...
But you can't take away impact from influence.
No,
You
there
can.
are type.
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
Okay,
You
well-
can impact somebody's life and you can influence somebody's. They're two different words.
Okay.
Two separate units.
Okay, there is...
There's kind of like a
No,
thin line.
let's
Line.
let's
Line.
hold on,
I
let's
do not even want us to preach. I don't want us to cross the line.
No, go ahead.
Let us just
We are pretty much at that point where you just said
Let's
they were maybe
Impact and influence.
The thing is,
You can't.
What they do have.
the thing is, ordinarily, you cannot calculate influence without impact.
now.
Without records of impact.
Now, we need to understand that sometimes, just like you said, you influence people unknowingly,
Yes, of course.
but impact is intentional.
Yes.
You make a move, you take a decision to impact this person. I'm particular about impacting his life in a particular way, and I follow my intention or my decision, and I see that it comes to fruition. Do you understand?
I
But
agree.
influence is me living my life the way I want to, and it is influencing someone else to live or toe that line.
So that means influence cannot be calculated, right?
Of course,
It cannot be
except
calculated.
you're intentional about it.
No,
So when you're intentional about
No,
it, that's when
It is
impact...
still not impact.
no. I think
Because now,
no. Let me say something. Impact is more in depth.
okay, let's
Just like she said, impact is more in depth than influence. But they all have.
Yeah, because she said intentionality.
Yes.
So if you're intentional
For
about
instance, now let me start an instance now. I could love Adeboye because of his simplicity. I just like him. He's already influencing me with his
Do you love
simplicity.
him or you are becoming...
I'm coming. I could love Adeboye because of his simplicity.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I could also love another person because of his sophisticated. They are both influence. But the impact now becomes his principles and values.
I don't even think that is influence. I'm sorry to cut you.
Impacts.
No, that what you said is not influence.
Influence.
You said you love him.
Influence is being able to.
No, you love him.
That's what I'm saying now.
He's not influencing you.
It's,
Because you're not simple.
influence is attention.
Oh my God.
No, it's just an example now.
Influence is an attention. Hold on now. Influence is an attention. For instance, now. Let me give you an instance.
go back to the
I love.
definition
For instance, now.
of influence.
Let me say something.
Okay.
I love this current Pope so much. Why do I love this Pope? I started following him. Why do I love him? I love the fact that he's passionate about whatever he does. For instance, when he's celebrating Mass, you see him tearing up. When he's celebrating Mass, you see him tearing up. You know, he's so passionate about what he does. It made me to like him, and I started applying it in my own endeavor. You see, I'm always very,
You began to cry when you're...
I'm very emotional about my cases.
So you cry in court.
I don't cry. I may not cry,
Whether you
but
like it or
it's a
not,
borrowed
people have
passion.
influenced you.
Yes, I've been influenced.
And do you
But
know
it's not
that you can
impacting
get
me.
the mind of
But it's
Jesus
not
by
impacting-
simply crying,
Yes,
even though you're not supposed
yes. But the Pope does not impact me. I'm trying to argue with her. Yeah.
No, I agree with
Yes,
I
yes.
agree
But
with-
that's why I say impact is more in depth.
No, I agree with her. You know,
Impact is more.
because
That's what I'm citing.
impact is specific.
You agree with me,
Mm.
but you were also trying to get me confused.
I
Was that intentional?
How? How you don't do that?
Understanding what I was saying and you
No,
throwing in questions.
It's
No,
more
no,
in depth
what he was
than
saying-
influence.
So we're saying
Yeah,
the same
exactly
thing.
what he
So we're saying the same thing.
I have issue
So
with the
impact is
example. Can you
principles
let
and
me play?
values. When you start knowing the person's principles and values and you start applying it, that's some persons don't behave like Adeboye,
Yeah.
but these principles and values, just like who is his number one beneficiary, Oyedepo, they don't behave alike at all.
Yes.
You can't even see a connection in their lifestyle, in their interests, in their area, in their passion. But look at the impact. You could see a connection. But influence does not behave like. So some persons, influence is when you want to start behaving like somebody. But impact is when you start applying the person's principles and values.
The
And
the person influencing you is not aware
I have a
that
question.
he
I have
is influencing
I have
you.
a
So you
question.
have picked up.
I have a
Even
question.
impact, you can influence, you can influence someone and you won't know.
I have a question for you guys
Come on now.
because I don't seem to agree that look, is it possible to have negative impact? Because probably we need to say we are talking about positive influence and positive impact. Because the truth of the matter is, any popular person is influential.
Yes.
Any rich person is influential. Any successful person is influential. But then when you start talking about, and like it or not, when someone begins to influence a couple of persons, the person is making impact.
Yes.
It's just not positive impact.
Yes.
Right? Because the fact that somebody can just get up, just staying with his example, and say, you know what, I need to wear belt again. And then everybody is like, I am going to wear belts now. Do you get? It is impact because if you look at the generation of persons, a number of persons that stopped putting on belts and started behaving as the guy behaves, you know, it is impact. It's just not positive, but it is impact. Because I see it from a physics point of view, like it's like what they say in physics.
I'm
That
not trying to get the definition.
something-
Is this
no. I'm just trying to say that when we say impact now,
it's the
eh,
same direction,
we
but
were
it's
using
more
it.
depth.
Yes, we were using it as if
Positively.
positively alone. That's my issue. Somebody can do something very, very negative, right? And everybody just wants to do what that person is doing. The person is not necessarily making positive impact, but it is impact. And that's, in my opinion, that's some of the things that are wrong with the world today. That people that influence and make impact in the world don't necessarily have the training, like they themselves are not even role models, good role models for themselves. Do you understand? He then tells me something, also borrowing something from what Fini said. Stop that. So it also brings me somewhere at a point where, like, it begins to make you as an individual, right? It begins to make you as an individual always check yourself when you do stuff, because you're like, at some point, I know some persons are going to be looking at what I do, you know. And there's something I always say about excellence and perfection. You know, there's a common saying. They always say that excellence as a human being, perfection as a human being is unattainable, right? But for me, the way I always like to look at it is, the moment you started checking yourself for excellence, the moment you've placed it as something you need to look out for when you do something, in my mind, you're already an excellent person. You're as perfect as you can be. The moment you started thinking about it already, like while you do something, you're already thinking, okay, so I'm a person of influence because I'm good at what I do, because that's how I look at it. The moment you...
That's what I want to ask you a question.
Please do, my brother.
For the sake of people listening to you,
Yes.
what are the things I want us to narrow this into practical scenario?
Come on, my dear brother.
What are the things you're doing
Yes.
have made you a person of impact?
Someone is
Yes.
watching this now.
Someone is watching.
Yes.
Oh, I want to be a
The
person.
things you're doing.
How do I go about this? What are practical steps?
Things you're doing.
So
If it's principles, say
so-
it. If it's
so-
action, say it. Both principles and actions.
So, in my journey, right?
Yes.
In my journey as a person, when I decided I was going to get into music professionally, I decided by myself. So this is one of the things I decided to do, right? So I decided that I was going to I decided I was going to change some stereotypes about music and musicians, because musicians are not taken seriously in our society.
Okay.
People don't take musicians seriously. And I got thinking, I got asking myself, why are these things like this? And then I came to some findings. For example, musicians don't present themselves in a way the society can trust them. Most musicians, go back to your church. There are people that if you go to them and
Have
say,
you been to my
come and help
church?
me do this thing, most of them will say, okay, I will help you do it. But the number of musicians that will follow through and make sure they actually get that thing done. So something I started trying to do was, I realized I was in a unique position because as I introduced myself, I'm trained as a lawyer, as a legal practitioner. So I started borrowing some of these things, some of our etiquette, some of the way we carry ourselves as legal practitioners, as lawyers, right? Because it's a whole thing. If you go through the fire studying law, it's a whole thing. It's something you can lose your whole practice and your whole profession just because you're not carrying yourself as you should as a lawyer. Do you understand? It's an actual thing. So I decided to apply it in my musical life, for example. So if someone came to me and said, how much do you charge for this? I try to make sure I say, please don't rush me, sir. Let me get back to you. Okay? Just as a lawyer would. Are you available to go to court tomorrow? Sorry, let me check my schedule so that I don't just tell you yes and then I'm unable to. So, for example, coming back to being actionable, right? The things I did were stuff like that. I was intentional about saying, if I want to grow, there's something I've always told. There's some, I've done some trainings with some church choirs, and I've told some of them, for example, that some of you say you want to be better at music, okay? But here you are in a church setting, your pastor, okay? Most pastors, before they become pastors, before they are ordained for pastoring, they go through Bible school. But then you people as musicians, somebody will say, come and pay money to learn something about music, and you frown at it. How do you want to improve at what you do? So stuff like that. You understand? I realized that I was in a unique position, okay, to be able to say, guys, see what these people in these other professions do that makes people respect them in society. So that helps them keep check.
So you introduce uniqueness to the regular. That's what you did.
Yes.
To the regular.
Yep.
So that's what you did.
Yep.
Okay, G, if I'm to ask you, G.
You want to answer a question because you're
No, hold on. You know I'm saying it, because at the end of the day, we are still coming back to the same.
Yeah, break right now.
Okay.
And we'll pick up from that question.
please, we need
It's a
to
very
take a
important
break.
question, yeah.